Okay, so I finally have a moment to talk to you. It has been busy. Um, but yeah, so I finally just got a moment and I wanted to hop on and say what's up. Um, I had a few things I wanted to talk to you about, and actually, as I'm getting on here and like collecting myself, I need to get to it. All right, so um, I'm gonna have the conversation that you've heard before. You've seen the jokes, but I just want to talk about it anyway. It is what it is. Christmas movies. I absolutely love Christmas movies. Um, when I was a kid, we watched like the claymation ones. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Rudolph, those, and I love the ones I love now. I love the rom coms, and it never fails. Every time I'm watching one of these movies, I'm always like yelling something at the TV, and it's usually along the lines of, "You don't know him. She could be an axe murderer." Like these people. I was watching one a couple nights ago, or was it last night? Might have been last night. And this guy shows up to this chick's house, right? They have known each other for I'm gonna I'm gonna give them at most 5 days. At most. I don't think it was 5 days, okay? And let's say by day five, she's gone and he's outside her house and he calls her and he's like, "Tell me you don't love me." He's like, "I'm standing here trying to get the woman that I love, and you tell me you don't love me and I will just walk away." And as soon as he says it, I'm just like, "You don't know her. You don't know her." Only in Christmas movies can someone fall in love and be so sure that quick, where it's like, it's not an infatuation, it's not a crush. I love you. I love. What's her middle name? What's her last name? Does she have any active warrants? These are things that we should probably be asking. So he's like, "Tell me you don't love me and I'll leave." And there's this dramatic pause, and her eyes are watering, and it's the most. And she's like, "I don't love you." And he just looks so heartbroken. You don't know her though, Um, obviously, if I estimate, I'll give them 2 days. 2 days later, she shows back up at his house. And Christmas movies are full of just horrible choices. Choices that, if you made in real life, a majority of the time would not work out. They just wouldn't. And I'm not saying don't be spontaneous. I'm a spontaneous person. I've moved across country on a whim. I've done some things that, in my opinion, weren't too smart to do. So I feel like I have the experience to state I've been very blessed, lucky, and fortunate to not end up in a bad situation from my spontaneous decisions that I've made. Um, and for someone to to say that they're in love with you like that and to really mean it, red flag. That is a red flag. That's not okay. So this is where I'm gonna go from talking about Christmas movies to police cam videos. It ties in the red flag from a person who loves you within 3 days. Something's not right, and that is how people are obsessed and become stalkers. So a couple weeks ago, I came across police cam videos on YouTube, and it's the camera that the officers are wearing when they report to a scene. I was gonna get on here and talk about these before. There were some that I saw that I thought to myself, I've got to tell people about these. Like, these are crazy. And check them out. They're wild. Uh, then I came to the stalker videos. I'm going to start the stalker videos. I'm not even going to like build the way up and tell you about the other ones because the stalker videos are nuts. So let me think. So there's one where a guy, and these are police cam videos. You can look these up on YouTube. There's a guy, the police are called because a woman said that this man put a tracker on her car. They get there and they're talking to the guy and they ask him about it. And he is saying it as if it's just rational. He's like, yeah, well, I was trying to talk to her and she told me she was going to the hotel and I wanted to know who she was going to the hotel to meet. And, I followed her because of the tracker. He said, I just wanted to know who she was going to meet. That's it. That's just simple as that. No biggie. This is not his girlfriend. They have never dated. He put a tracker on her car a couple of days prior. He then tells the police where the tracker is. Not only, so they go and they find it, they remove it, and he's like, I've never been in trouble before. I've never done anything. I was just wondering where she was. So he's saying it as if it's just so casual. And as they're filming, they have the lady, she's with an officer, and the guy's with an officer, and they're like, they're not in the same they're in the same approximate vicinity, but they're not, the cars aren't side by side because they're in their cars. The police arrived to like their car. So like she's in a parking lot, he's in a parking lot, maybe one over from each other or something like that because she was getting away from him. So as they go to the woman and she's talking about, how they've never dated and so on and so forth, her phone starts to ring and she says, it's him, he's calling me. Now, we just left the scene of him explaining to the police why he put a tracker on her car, how he's never been in trouble, where the tracker is, even tells them where it is because they find it on her car. And then when we go to her, she's talking and then her phone rings and she says it's him. And the cop's like, don't answer that. Don't answer that. And so they walk you over to say like, hey, are you still with him? Because he's calling her. And so then they go back to the guy and the cop's like, hey, for now, let's just not call her. Let's just not call her for now. what is going through a person's mind? Don't get me wrong. When I was young, in my late teens and early 20s, I mean, I wasn't mature. Uh, I was on top of the world, you know, um, healthy. Shoot, $27 in my bank account with a vehicle and a quarter tank of gas, you know, like can't tell me nothing, all right? um, I have overreacted in situationships before. I'm not even gonna say someone I've dated. I've overreacted in situationships before. I'll admit it. I yelled and cussed and um but this is some next level stuff. Because even though I overreacted, there's that moment where like I kind of came back to myself, you know. This is totally different. This is next level. That one ended. He got arrested. He got arrested. Now there's one more I want to tell you about, and I don't remember all the exact details, but you should try to check it out if you can. Once again, it's a stalker video, and this guy is on her Ring doorbell dropping off gifts, and he's like blowing a kiss to her house. Yeah, he knows where she lives, and the police are called. And the way that he's talking in the back of the police car is the scariest part. He's not making any threats or saying anything or saying that he's going to cause any kind of harm to her. And once again, these people have never dated. This one, I want to say she hasn't seen him in a couple years. It's crazy. Uh, he's saying things like, "Oh, I'm not gonna forgive her this time. I'm not gonna forgive her this time." Like, forgive her for what, dude? She did nothing. He's speaking so delusional. It's mind-boggling. This one I definitely suggest to watch. I can't remember the exact title of it, but once again, it's a stalker. It's a police cam video. And he's in the back of the cop car, and the things that he's saying are so delusional. He's like, "Oh, I knew I should have never came out here. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Never think with your heart. Always think with your head. Never think with your heart." He is just like beating himself up over getting arrested. And oh, the maturity level that he's displaying is very young. If that even makes sense. I don't know how else to describe it. It was very eerie, and and it is just very eerie. You hear stories about this happening, and but hold on, I might have to cut the video short. Okay, I don't know. If I do, I'll hop back on. It's very eerie, and I even watched some documentaries on Netflix about like stalker boyfriends and stuff. And when I was watching that, I was like, "Yo, you need a pistol." Like, these people are unpredictable, and you never know what they're gonna do if they get so upset and frustrated. And their self control is non existent, obviously. The last thing you want to do is match yourself up with someone who has no self control and low immaturity that is possibly stronger than you, that can overtake you if they get upset. those videos are jaw-dropping. They really are. And it's that kind of mentality. There's no, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. These poor girls, just living their daily basic lives. These weren't like superstars who got called, who have some random guy who's obsessed over them and they're famous. No, these are just, I got a Nissan Altima, driving down the street, going to work, doing my daily thing. There's someone, it was crazy. One other thing before I do get off here. One other thing about the police body cam videos. Hopefully anyone who ever watches this knows this, but one main thing that happens in those videos, and I was going to stop watching them until the stalker ones came up, because it's the same thing over and over. And it's people refusing to give their ID to the police when they get pulled over, or thinking if their car is in park that they can't get a driving citation. I'm gonna just leave that there. I'm not gonna go into it. These are adults. These are people in their mid-20s. And the way that some of these people challenge the police is ridiculous to me. But anyway, sorry. Sorry about the earthquake. So I'm gonna skedaddle. I'm gonna upload this tonight. It's Wednesday. Maybe it'll come up tonight. Maybe it'll come up early Thursday morning. I don't know. Either way, I hope you had a great day. You're gonna have a great night. Drop me an emoji in the comments. I have a couple more ideas for some videos coming up. I'm really excited to do. If there's anything that you ever want to get my opinion on, to hear some random stranger's opinion on something, or anything you ever want to discuss, any topic really, let me know. Drop it in the comments. I will catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out.